What's up, everybody? It's Mr. McCullough here with another creative week. We are officially in creative week 3, and I'm gonna go over this week's assignment as well as how to get a beat made, how to do certain things that will help you along your journey of becoming a better producer. So, for your third creative assignment, your job is simple, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is make one brand new beat that you think will fit a specific artist or style. Okay? It's called a type beat. If you go to YouTube and search type beat, there are a ton of different videos and beats that are type beats. So like if I go to YouTube right now, right? And if I just type beats, look at all these beats. Gunna type beat, Polo G type beat. You name an artist, all you gotta put is their name in front of it, type beat, and there's a beat that sounds similar to something they would rap on. The reason why artists or producers make these type of beats is because it's easier to get found that way. So that's what we're gonna do this week. We're gonna make something that you or that will give you a great chance to be found and discovered. It may happen, it may not, we never know. But the only way to find out is to actually create something. So when you make your beat, you need to have at least 4 different tracks or sounds. It should be at least a minute and 30 seconds long. Switch it up. Use different sounds, rhythm, or loops. And then most importantly, these last two, you must upload your beats to your YouTube channel and give it a type name. You can call it a Detroit type beat. You can call it a hip hop type beat. You can call it a R&B or a soul type beat. Whatever type of beat it is, just give it that name. So as soon as you name your project, or as soon as you start your project, name it, okay? Last but not least, to receive a grade, you need to email me the link for your beat, and then just tell me how you made your beat sound like something that fits the artist or style you chose, okay? That's worth 50 points, okay? Now, while you making these beats, a couple things to think about. One, if you forgot what type beats are, or you just want a little bit more information, this video up here in the top corner will tell you everything you need to know, and it'll tell you about a bunch of producers who really got put on, who really got their career started by just making type beats, putting them on the internet. Bigger artists found them, and the rest is history, okay? So as you're making these beats, and as I make my beat, these are the things I'm thinking about. One, I'm thinking about what artist or what style is it for, right? If I'm making a hip-hop beat for somebody from the South, that's probably going to sound different than an R&B beat from a soul singer in California. I don't know. Also be thinking about how you're going to switch things up. The way you start the song, which is called the intro, should sound a little bit different than the hook or the chorus. The hook and chorus is the part that just gets repeated over and over again, okay? So every song has a part that once the rapper or singer says their part, they just repeat it over and over and over again, right? So that's the part that or that part should sound a little bit different than the part which is the verse where they actually are rapping and singing their words, okay? So we're going to go over all of that in just a minute, but just be constantly thinking about what type of vibe will the song have, and let's get into it. To do this, I'm going to use soundtrap.com, so I'm going to just go to soundtrap.com. Now I'm already logged in, but if you aren't, you can just log in with your Gmail account or Google account. I'm gonna hit Enter Studio, and then I'm gonna just make something. Now the thing is, it's hard to create something, or it's hard to know where you're going without a plan, right? If you were driving to Chicago, you wouldn't just get in a car and start driving because you could end up anywhere. But if you have a plan, if you know where you're going, it's a lot easier to get to that destination. I'm making music, so I'm gonna choose that. And the beat I'm gonna make is I'm gonna make a Detroit hip. I'm gonna make a Detroit trap beat actually. Okay. So there's a bunch of different style beats. I like hip hop beats though. You don't have to make hip hop. There's a ton of different styles on here. Okay. Now sometimes when you start making your beat, you'll see the time up here. But sometimes you won't. Sometimes it starts off looking like this. And remember, when we go back to our project, it needs to be 1 minute and 30 seconds long with 4 different sounds. So I need to be able to see how long the project actually is. So what I'm going to do is click this little tool right here next to the magnet, go all the way down to time, and make sure that it's on time so I can see. Once I click on time, I can either zoom in or out so I can see more or less, and I'll know exactly where 1 minute and 30 is. If I scroll over, I can see that it's way down here. But if I zoom out, I can see much more of the project, and I see it's just right there. It's nothing, right? So now I need to start finding sounds that fit together and sounds that sound good. So let's get to that part, right? If I click this purple music icon, that'll get me started with my loops. Now, they always give you at the top picks for any project that you're working on, and you can use them. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't. But because you're making a specific beat or a specific style of beats for a specific thing, it's a good chance that it won't fit. You just gotta try stuff out, okay? So when I make my beat, I'm gonna just try stuff out. It might work, it might not. We'll never know until we try it though. So again, I usually like to start with pianos. With pianos, you can make a trap beat, you can make an R&B beat, a soul. You can do so much with a piano. So I'm gonna start with one of those, okay? And I'm gonna just see what I can find. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know how it'll sound. There's literally, when I scroll down, look at all these sounds. Tons of them, right? So there's never a reason to choose the very first sound you hear unless you just absolutely love it. But if you choose the first sound you hear or the first sound you see, there's a good chance somebody else saw that same first sound and you're going to have the same sound to beat as them. You don't want that, okay? So let's see what we got. I actually like both of those. So let's see how they sound together. So to add this to my song, I'm going to just click it and drag it over there. And this one might sound good with it too, but I don't know. Let me hear this one first too. Nope. Let's see if they sound good together. If not, I'm going to just pick one and roll with it. Remember, just because you add a sound to here doesn't mean you have to keep it. So if you don't like it, immediately get rid of it. Don't force something, okay? Now, it just so happens that they sound good together, which is a really good thing. Now, I know my song needs to be 1 minute and 30 seconds long. So what I could do if I want to, I could just hover over the top corner of this. This little, my mouse will turn into a loop, and I can click it and drag it until it gets to 1 minute and 30 seconds long. But there's a big problem with that, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at it. If you've heard 1 second of my song, and I have it exactly the same way for the whole thing, you basically have heard the whole beat. So why would anybody keep listening if your whole song sounds the same? You got to switch it up, okay? I'm going to get into that in just a minute, but let me find some more sounds first, okay? Next up, I'm going to try to find some drums. Now, again, as soon as you pick a sound from over here, they'll give you the top sounds for that project. You don't have to use them, right? If I click on synth at the very top, they'll give you top picks. If you click on anything, they'll give you top picks. If you click on guitar, top picks. I don't necessarily need any of these, and I generally don't like to use those, but I'm going to find some drums for right now, okay? So I don't want to use any of these drums. Let's see what I can find, though, when I actually try. Now, remember, I said I wanted to make trap beat, so I'm probably going to need some trap drums. So if I just type trap in there, it narrows down the search a little bit. And it gives me the opportunity to find something that's gonna fit the style that I'm trying to do just a little bit better. Let me just type trap in there. I don't even need to put drums in there. And then type drums. All right. Scroll back up, see what I can find. Now, when it comes to drums, here's another thing you want to think about too. You can generally find one full set of drums and it has everything in it, but also you generally want to add more than one different type of drum because it'll sound that much better and that much fuller, right? So these aren't bad, but do I love them? No, I don't love them. I don't love any of them, right? But maybe these though. That fits a lot better, right? So I took the time to find something I like, and now I have something that actually fits a little better, okay? And again, I can stretch it out so that it fits the whole song, but then here's the problem. Listen to it. If you've heard one part of the song, you've heard the whole song, and that's a problem, okay? Right? There's a ton of different beats on here. Look at all of these. There's so many different sounds on here, it's not even funny. Also, if I'm not crazy about them drums, I could just delete them. I didn't love what I heard from that. I didn't love the way everything fit, so I'm not going to force it. Again, Nobody's making you choose anything. I'm going to just choose this Brampton 5 beat. I don't know how it sounds. It might sound good. It might not. But if it does, I can keep it. And if it doesn't, I keep it moving. And just like that. So just like that, my drums fit better, my strings and sound better, and everything fits well, but I still need one more thing. Actually, two more things. My song is 1:30, but I only have 4 different sounds in here. And it sounds really boring because my intro, the hook, and the verse all sound exactly the same. That's not going to work, people. It's just not going to work. So what I'm going to do before I even add anything else, I'm going to start switching things up as soon as I get a chance to, right? I'm going to shorten that. I'm going to right-click it and copy it. And then I'm going to just paste another one down here because I don't want everything to play all at once for the whole song. It's not that you can't play it, but if it all plays at the exact same time for the whole song, it's going to get very boring very fast, okay? So a lot of times what you want to use to make your beat sound better is silence. Not more sound, less sound. Take something away, right? It seems like, well, how would that work? How would he make it better? But actually it does, okay? So I'm going to stretch that out a little bit, and now when you listen to the beginning of it, it's going to sound a little better. Right? Nothing there at first. And then eventually my drums would come in. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of did like the way some of those hi-hats were sounding. So let's see if I can find some of those again and add them back to. I'm going to just type in here, hat. Hi-hats are like that. It's that sound right there. And they generally do a lot to make your beat sound really good, okay? So let's see what I can find. Yep, I'm gonna just add that to it. That's gonna make it sound a lot fuller. It's not nothing crazy. It's not gonna do nothing out of this world to it, but it will make it sound better, okay? And even though I said you need to have 5 sounds, you can have more. There's nothing stopping you from adding more sounds to it. I just said you need to have a minimum of 5, okay? So let me see. Before I go, let me see. Can I find one more something? Actually, I'm gonna do something a little different. Next week, we're gonna get into using sound effects. So let me just see if I can find a sound effect right now and spice up my beat a little bit. So let's see, airport terminal or B passing. Let's see. I don't really like that. That's not strong enough. Blow dryer, blowing nose. So I'm not crazy about any of these, but actually, this engine won't start is probably that's gonna work. So I'm gonna just drag this over here and see what I get. It may work, it may not, but it's not really music, but it will help to add a little something to my sound, right? So let's see how that sounds from the beginning. You hear the car trying to start? I'm gonna put a car horn in there somewhere too. It's gonna be like a car sounding beat. Now, because I know I'm gonna like how this car sound, this horn is gonna sound. Like, listen to that. I like that. Okay. Now I could keep adding more and more to it, but the main thing is you don't want everything playing at once. So there's one more thing I'm gonna do to make this thing sound really good, and that is I'm gonna add something that doesn't play for the whole song. Okay. So I'm gonna add maybe some strings. And just like that, that'll work. I found something on the very first try. I don't know if it'll work, but I hope it will, so let's find out. It did work. So I'm going to do one last thing just to, again, I'm always trying to make sure that my stuff does not sound the same the whole way through. So this one last thing I'm going to do. I like this car sound in here, so I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna add another one to it. I'm gonna just add them all over, and so that'll be there. But also, I don't necessarily want everything to play at once, so I'm gonna have this playing for a little bit. I'm gonna copy it, put it back down here. Again, I don't want everything playing all the way through. Remember, when I first started my beat, everything was playing at once. This. It was completely full. But by the time I'm done, look at all these spaces. All of these spaces represent silence, which means you won't hear that specific sound there, but there's always something playing. So play around with taking things out and adding things in, and let's check and see if I got everything I need. Is my song 1 minute and 30 seconds long? Yep. Do I got 4 different sounds? I got more than 4 different sounds. Did I use different sounds? Definitely use different sounds. I named the Detroit Trap Beat, so when I share it to YouTube, it's going to already be that. I'm going to just hit the save button, and boom. Now, here's the thing, people. When you hit the save button, you are pretty much done with the project. You're just about ready to add it to YouTube. There's only one problem, though, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a little bit of time to mix. So right now, you see that thing, it says mixing. So while it's saving and while it's mixing, you don't have to be in here. You can leave the studio if you want to, and you can use that time to add a picture to your beat, okay? So I'm going to go out of my studio, and then I'm going to scroll down so you can see all of my beats, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, all right? So if I go down to all of my projects, right, I made another Detroit Trap Beat yesterday and a Southern Trap Beat, a bunch of stuff. But if I click these 3 dots right next to it, right next to my project, click these 3 dots, it gives me an option to add a cover photo. Just click that and add a photo to it. It also gives me an option to hit share project. So if I just hit share project, YouTube is right there, and that's it. I've done it. But remember, once you share that project to YouTube, it still takes a few minutes to upload and process, and there's still one last step you need to take. This is the most important part of the whole day, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not send me that email, it says it in bright orange letters, to receive your grade, email me the link for your beat and tell me how you made your beat sound like something that fits the artist or style you chose. So for me, I chose some drums that sounded like really hard, really hip-hoppy. I even typed in trap drums to make sure that they sounded like that. I chose some strings and some piano, which gave it like a classical feel, but then I also added some dirty drums to it to kind of switch up the whole game. I said even more than maybe what you need to say, but just tell me how you made your song. Now, I didn't make my beat for a specific artist, but I could have called this Polo G type beat. I could have said this is a beat that Polo G would rap on because he could rap and sing, and he likes grimy sounding beats, and this would be perfect for him. Or anybody else that I choose to make a beat for. That's what you're doing, people. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment if you need help or anything like that. Other than that, though, people, that's the video for this week. Hope it helped. And let me know if you want me to make more.